I want to just talk about some of these NFL headlines that are happening here in the offseason. The big one, obviously, Aaron Rodgers coming back to the Pittsburgh Steelers after, kind of a dramatic, indecisive, squishy wait. I think, to his point, he's like, well, once I heard that they were going to get Mike McCarthy, then I started to open my mind a little. I guess he got in touch with the shaman. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are smoking something here too. This is wild to me. This guy is the most overrated, irrelevant quarterback in the league right now. They signed him for $25 million. It feels like just such an emotional, responsive contract for 1 year. He's already announced that this is going to be his farewell tour. So every game of the season is going to be like that for Aaron Rodgers. You got to be kidding me. And the rest of their QB room is not great. It wasn't great last year, to be honest. I mean, it was a lot of trouble. It was a lot of guy with 2 club feet trying to scramble. It was a lot of oh shits. They haven't won a playoff game. I think it's since 2016. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's a while ago. I don't get it. I don't get the hype around this. I think they should have moved on from him and, set their compass forward a little bit. And I think they're going to regret this. That's where they've been, middle of the road for too long. You gotta win playoff games to get players who want to play for you and to kind of chart success. And the Steelers aren't doing that. So I don't get it. I don't get why this is such a headline and such a big deal, but apparently it is. Joe Burrow, this is another big one. Kind of big, I guess. This boy got out there and got, he's shooting a shot out there. He's according to Joe Burrow, the Bengals have the best roster that they've ever had since he's been there.
This is the best team we've had. We're winning it all this year.
Their defense, they definitely, were wheeling and dealing in the offseason and during the draft and got some pretty good defense going on that I think is going to help them. I don't mind the, our team is the best it's been team. That's a good chip to have on your shoulder. I think going in and wanting to get to the Super Bowl or wanting to, make the playoffs, I think these are good goals, but I think it's a little much for Joe Burrow right now to be coming out in, May, talking about how they're going to win the Super Bowl. Again, that one might come back and bite him in the ass. The quarterback drama is kind of ramping up in Cleveland. So I am Team Shador. Just really everything. I really liked him coming out of college and everything too. So I'm Team Shador for the Browns. I kind of hated what Stefanski did with him last year and how he got handled, or I guess. Deshaun Watson, we've seen it. When he wasn't injured, we've seen it. Is it there 2.5 years later? I doubt it, They're going to let this be an open competition, which I think is good for them, energy-wise, and culture-wise. I also think that the player who connects with the, with the offense that played with Shador last year, that got used to his playing style, that got used to finding him the way that he needs to be found, I don't think that they really want to shift that either. I think they want to kind of grow on that. So, look, training camp and OTAs and preseason, all that will tell the tale, but, could get into sort of forsaking their relationship with Shador or damaging it and then really needing him down the stretch, which is kind of the story of the Browns' life. I hate to talk about this one. This one pisses me off a lot. Rashee Rice with the Kansas City Chiefs. What the fuck are you doing, dude? You're on probation. You've already cost the team. You've already been like totally just fucking around, doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. You've already cost your team. Then you were injured, cost your team. You could argue that maybe some of the other distractions kept him from being trained. And now you're violating your probation and you're going to jail. The judge is like not having it. 30 days in jail. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Get gone, boy. Like, get gone. He's going to miss OTAs. I think he misses like the mini camp or the mandatory camp. So one of those camps. I don't know. I am looking to the Chiefs to kind of handle this, with some disciplinary action here and like some responsiveness. It just seems like they're really passive about this kind of thing, or players that kind of get in these kinds of jams. I'm over it. Like the Chiefs just got out of a season where had they had everything lined up, they could have made at least a playoff game. There's a message, I think, as far as like what kind of team are you guys going to be? What kind of discipline are you going to put out there on the field? But it needs to make a point, to the other players as well as to Rashee Rice. And I just think there's better stuff out there. There's better stuff out there that you don't have to mess with that. That's, they don't ask me, but that's what I say. Nashville just landed Super Bowl 64, which is amazing. That is going to be a really cool town to go to a Super Bowl in. I'm stoked for that city and their growth and like what it means kind of for them going forward. And as far as like, the NFL stage, the Nissan Stadium is going to get, a little reno. The Titans, it's a good look for them. It's just good for all of that. So huge, massive success for Nashville. And it's good to see the Super Bowl, like, getting into the center of the country too. Like we need more of that going on. And I think it's, it's movement like that kind of points the NFL in that direction. So cool. That's all I got. I just want to kind of go over some of that stuff that's happening out there. Like, listen, follow, share, all those things. We'll put out another top 5 list this weekend, and we've got some cool stuff coming up with some guests and things like that. So stay tuned. We are They Don't Ask Me podcast pretty much anywhere. Stay classy out there.